about the rental asset management perspective, please, Johan, if you would, in terms of what offerings there are there.
Bruce, thank you for that. I'm going to start by sharing my screen, but then also disclose that we're going to try to make up some time. We have got some pertinent questions that is lined up for the PPRA, and I know a lot of audience members are waiting for that. So you saw the slide from Toby about bridging the value gap. On the left-hand side, we have a property manager. On the right-hand side, we have an investor. And in principle, exactly the same principles applies in the rental asset management environment. We have an incredible value and service to offer. And right hand side, there's a client with definitely a need for our service. But how we package ourselves on this journey to get to our clients or to deliver our service is something we have to potentially rethink. In the rental space, we have said with Neil has confirmed that the investor is still the investor. It doesn't matter if he's investing in financial assets and or property. His key needs are very simple. I would like to optimize my investment, a return on investment. I would like to reduce my risk. I need some guidance to grow my portfolio, and I need professional reporting to make sure I can make good investment decisions on. Unfortunately, it's clear that some cases, as an industry, we still have the admin mindset. The mindset of, I've got to find a tenant, I've got to collect rent, I've got to do some maintenance management, manage arrears, and potentially draw a police agreement. None of these activities are going to go away. That is critically how we deliver our service in industry. It is the mindset of what we do versus how we do it that we potentially have to rethink and make sure that when we speak to our customers, that we are actually bridging this gap and communicating and reporting our value in the way it should be perceived. So I would have loved to spend some more time on the target market, the service offering, as well as the people, processes, and partners. But I'm going to jump over to the reporting and the marketing, which is really about how the customer is experiencing and seeing the value that the property manager has. And for that, I'm going to ask Etienne and Lavens to join me to share personal testimonies. Etienne, his company is called Rental Asset Management. If that doesn't give it away by itself, and his conviction about the future of rental management and that it is rental asset management, I think his name does that for us. Etienne has been very successful in communicating his value through some of the functionality that we've made available in our rental asset management solution, looking at our asset management reports. Etienne, I'm going to ask you this journey to get to a place where you are actually asset managers, and more importantly, your communication in this format to your investors. Just give us some verbatim feedback about that discussion, that potential difference in value perception, and the type of value discussions you are having today with your investors and how they are perceiving you today.
Johan, thank you. There's quite a number of internal reporting that we use from the WeconnectU system to make a variety of management decisions, and of course to improve our performance and the performance of the asset managers. External reports that I personally value a lot is, for example, the asset group consolidated statements and the rent roll documents that enable us to discuss monthly performance with investors if we need to. That is basically the investors that has got more than one property, and you provide them with consolidated statements. But Johan, I think the focus is what property investors are looking for. Here I refer to the actual cash flow statements, your return on investment, your yield, capital growth, return on assets, and those kind of fancy words that we use in the investment environment. So property investors are interested in regular income and long-term value appreciation. They are, in fact, looking at profit opportunities. They are in the game to make money and to build a sound portfolio of assets. That is what it's all about. Positive cash flow is always the key to a good rate of return on an investment property. So it's crucial, it's very important that we as asset managers prepare ourselves to basically deliver on what is expected from us. We therefore make use of, I can say, this valuable investment report to engage on an annual basis with our investors so that they can also make informed decisions from those discussions. And the other important factor is that your rental asset managers must understand the terms of cash flow, where it comes from, how to calculate the return on investment, how does capital growth work, and where does the numbers behind the results come from. So they need to make those, your investors needs to make decisions based on those discussions. So managing a physical portfolio over a long term, I think we've discussed it earlier, over the long-term horizon is not for everyone. So the opportunity is there to make a change from being an administrator to being a rental asset manager in the future. Alternatives exist that allow your client to invest in other real estate sectors indirectly. So why not make the change and retain your business? Generate those investment reports from the WeconnectU system. Why not? I'm telling you, I've been in many, many situations where the investment report basically saved my life by keeping that business. And once you lose an investor with 10 or 15 units, it's going to be a very, very difficult task to put them back into your system. So in a nutshell, use those investor reports. It adds quite a lot of value to your business. Thanks, Johan.
Etienne, thank you for that. Loveness, if I'm going to ask you to come in. Like I said, Loveness is setting up the property management department at Easy Properties. And I must compliment them. If I look at the market out there, they are definitely leading in the way that they position and communicate to the potential market. And I'm quite confident that they are attracting those investors because they are definitely speaking their language. Loveness, I just want to see, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Go. Good. We can't see you, but we can definitely hear you. Loveness, first of all, well done on your marketing strategy and just how you guys position yourself. But give us some insights into the thinking behind your marketing strategy and the way you communicate with your investors.
Hey, thank you so much, Johan. I think before we can dive into the marketing strategies of Easy Properties, I just want to give a brief overview of what Easy Properties does so that you can get to see that we are coming from a different business model than other conventional agencies. So Easy Properties works with investors rather than landlords. For those that may not know, Easy Properties offers an investment platform that gives the ordinary person an opportunity to invest in real estate. So people like you, Johan, and like me, we come together and we buy investment properties that under normal circumstances would not have been attainable. Then with this large pool, we are able to buy and negotiate on good deals with developers. So technically, the business model itself is different in that we are actually working with investors, people that have come in to buy property that is specifically for investment purposes. And they are looking for a desired return. So once these properties have been bought, we then take them and start managing them in-house. Now we move on to the issue of the actual property management. Because we realize that the investor is looking for value in these properties, we don't just manage these properties as administrators, but we place greater administrative care in our property management. And there's also greater performance reporting that is required from us. So now I'm going to move on to our marketing strategy. Our strategy is how companies manage property, but also how we increase the value of the properties. Firstly, we incorporate a case for the investment. when we are marketing. This case details, number one, why investors should buy into the investment. That's the first thing. We talk to issues that pertain to the rental yields, what yields they'll be able to attain from that property. We talk to issues of IRR, which is basically finance lingo. So in our case, we tell them why they have to invest or should invest in the investment. And then the second thing is, we also communicate the performance of the properties to the investors at every step. So it's a promise that we make at the very beginning, that we are going to make sure that you know exactly how your property is performing. We're going to give you detailed reports on vacancies, detailed reports on collections, detailed reports on the financial performance of the properties. So this all collectively makes up the investment case at the very beginning, because we are promising that you are just not going to be renting out a property for you, but we are going to be performing an asset management aspect to managing that property. So that's what we have been doing at Easy Properties. And just to add, WeConnectU has definitely been making it a whole lot easier with us, because their reporting is quite on point. It's been very helpful.
Loveness, I love what you say. You said you've got a different model. You don't work with landlords, you work with investors. I think I would like to rephrase it. You guys have just absolutely adopted the understanding of who your customer is, and you cannot be a rental agent, but you have to be a rental asset manager. And I think just the way you spoke, you're thinking about how you guys package your value proposition, and obviously your marketing that we're alluding to is absolutely geared, but I believe it's for the future. The fact that your business model is slightly different to the conventional agency with regards to you guys potentially offer fractional ownership. The customer is still the same customer. It's an investor that has decided to invest in an asset class called property. I'm going to close with that. Well done to that, Loveness. I'm going to close that. Bruce, hand over to you. I think we've landed the concept of how the rental asset management industry should, or the rental management industry should reposition themselves so their customer, the investor, can not only see but experience the value that they are delivering today in a different way.